Now, one thing to note, on many tests or in many reports and on IEPs, the age of a child may be rounded up to simply years and months. There may not be the actual days on the final actual chronological age. So the general rule, and you would have to see your manual for specifics, is that if the number of days on the age of the child is 16 or higher, we round the age up. So for example, if you found the chronological age of a child was 10 years, 7 months, and 24 days old, 10/7/24, that would be rounded up to 10/8, because again, the 24 on the days is 16 or higher, and therefore we round up the month. So instead of 10/7/24, we would just say 10/8. If the number of days on the actual age of the child is 15 or lower, we keep it the same, meaning that a chronological age of a child, say, who was 8 years, 6 months, and 2 days old, so 2 is obviously 15 or lower, that would just be 8/6. So again, general rule, 16 days or higher, we round up to the next highest month. Anything from 15 or lower, we keep as is with things. Now, so far this seems pretty straightforward. We just subtract the days, we subtract the months, and we subtract the years. Nothing really complicated about it. But what would happen if the date of test days was less than the child's date of birth days? Again, what would happen if the date of test days was less than the child's date of birth days? Now, let me give you an example. Suppose you had a child who was tested on August 11th of 2013, and the child was born on May 23rd of 2003. So let's take a look at that. The date of test again is August 11th of 2013. So on our date of test line in our calculation of age box, we would put 2013 under our year. We would put 8 for the month of August under our month, and then under the days column we would put an 11, because August 11th of 2013 was when the child was tested. Now, the child was born on May 23rd of 2003. So under the year column, we put 2003, and under the month column, we put May, which is 5, but then under the days column, we put 23. The child was born on May 23rd. Now, take a look at that box. We start from the days column, and we subtract our date of test minus our date of birth. So we have 11 minus 23 there. Now, you can't do 11 minus 23. You can't do it. So the question becomes, what do we do when our date of test days, the 11, is smaller than our date of birth days, which is 23? What happens when the date of test days is less than the date of birth days? In our example, 11 minus 23. You can't do that subtraction. So, we have a rule. And our rule is simply this. You subtract 1 from the date of test months and add 30 to the date of test days. Again, subtract 1 from the date of test months and add 30 to the date of test days. What you are doing is you're simply replacing 1 month with 30 days. And it doesn't matter whether there are 31 days in a month, 30 days in a month, or 27 or 28 days in February or something like that. We're always using 30 as our standard. So anytime our date of test days is less than our date of birth days, we subtract 1 from the date of test months and add 30 to the date of test days. We're simply replacing 1 month with 30 days. So let's go back to our original example. In our original example, we had our date of test days was 11 and our date of birth days was 23. And we said 11 minus 23 couldn't be done. So what do? We simply subtract 1 from the date of test months. So our months was 8. We're going to take 1 month away, making our months now 7, and we're going to add 30 days, 30, to our 11, which now makes it 41 days. So what we have done is we've made the 11 30 more, which is now 41. But to do that, we had to take 1 month away from the 8, making it 7. So now what you have is under the days column, instead of 11, you now have 41. And 41 minus 23 will be our next step. And then under the months column, we'll do 7 minus 5, and under the years column, we'll do our 2013 minus 2003. But as you can see, now our date of test days is larger than our date of birth days, and we can actually do the subtraction process. So now you would simply subtract as you normally would. Our date of test days is 41. Our date of birth days is 23. 41 minus 23 is 18. Our date of test months is 7. Our date of birth months is 5, so 7 minus 5 is 2. And our date of test is 2006. Our date of birth is 1996. And 2006 subtracted minus 1996 is 10. So this child is 10 to 18, or 10 years, 2 months, and 18 days old. And again, for assessment purposes, the child's age will probably be rounded up because 18 again is 16 or higher, and therefore we would record 10 to 18 as 10 years, 3 months old.